Go ahead and throw on your cutoff sleeve hoodie because it's time for a Bill Belichick interview. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? My name is Nathan. I'm one half of your Hill Brothers. And yesterday, we finally got ourselves another Bill Belichick North Carolina football press conference. It is the summer press conference getting into the summertime of the year. And we got Bill for a little over 20 minutes yesterday. That was kind of unexpected. I didn't know any of that was happening. I didn't, hear of anybody going to do the interview. It just boom. It dropped, and not only was it awesome, and you got a lot of substance in his interview, but also we got some players yesterday too. We got Will Hardy and Jordan Shipworth, two names that we're very familiar with, but we also got Thaddeus Dixon and Christo Kelly. A little mix of old and new yesterday, and listening to those interviews, I am so excited for Dabo Carolina football this year as well. Listening to the energy level throughout the entire thing from the players aspect, it was awesome. But let's quickly talk about the Bill Belichick portion of this entire thing. So Belichick comes in and they're just asking him about the program, how he's feeling. The Jordan Hudson question got in there. What's the team doing now with the house settlement? What's happening with certain players? What's happening with the way the recruiting is going? There was a good variety of questions that were asked by all the different reporters in there, and good job on all of them. Not only AJ at THI, who, if you go down to the description, you can go find the interview down there below. We'll have it down there through THI, through Tar Heel Illustrated, and our good friend Andrew Jones over there. He always does a great job. And also, I'm a stickler for this kind of thing. His audio is always in both ears. Thank you. That's just a big stickler thing of me, but that neither here nor there. But also, Bill Belichick went in there and he really talked about the program. He kind of talked at where we are. He's talked about the improvement, and you can see a openness to understand that, hey, look, we've shown a lot of improvement. I remember one little spot in his quote there. He said, hey, we're making a lot of improvement. He says, we could be at our peak. He said, I don't know, but we also could be just getting started as well. And him talking about the team while understanding, like, hey, we look like we're going to be pretty good, but also let's keep in mind that we are in the summer as well. He spoke like a guy that oozed confidence, but also was understanding and a realist, as in, hey, what we're seeing in June, July, almost mid-June now, it might not transfer over to August and September and October and all those months as well. So for him to come out, and he was asked about recruiting, that going well, he says it's a lot to handle. The big question that we all had as North Carolina fans, like, hey, what's it going to be like for him to be able to come out here and recruit? What's that going to look like? How is he going to react to it? Is he going to do it at all? And him immediately getting on the road. We saw that. We covered that. We talked about all the time he was on the road. And he even kind of talked about some of the challenges of it, where there was like, hey, you're recruiting all the time. There's so many different names. He says not only the names of the players, but you're recruiting the families. You're recruiting this stuff. And he really was open about this. And it was good to see and kind of hear that stuff. We think Bill's just been kind of one of those coaches, and at times he definitely has been. But now in this one, I felt like he opened up a whole heck of a lot more as well. And to quickly cover Jordan Hudson, he basically said straight up, look, she's not a part of the football program. That's a personal venture I got into a year ago, and there you go. So there you go. There's the Jordan Hudson portion of that. But I liked the question that was asked. Again, I recommend you guys go and watch the video over on THI. Get them some views over there as well, because they do such a great job. But also, he talked about the quarterback position, and that's been a big one that Carolina has had. Okay, you picked up Gio Lopez, the guy who looks like to be a stud potentially out of South Alabama. You got Bryce Baker in there. You lost Ryan Brown. He came in for a cup of coffee from Purdue and then went back to Purdue. You still got Max Johnson. And that was a good question. That was something that AJ actually brought up. What is Max Johnson doing? Is he getting better? Will he be out there? And Belichick had originally, through earlier press conferences in the spring, like, hey, he's there, but that's about it. That's about the crux of that whole thing is, oh, he's here. But now this time, Belichick opened up about it, talked about the quarterback position, talked about how that Max is here. And not only is Max here, but he's getting better each and every day, and he could be in the mix, which is something brand new that we have not heard before out of Belichick. Now, we heard it last year with Mac Brown when he said, hey, during the spring, summer, he could potentially be a factor for sure, but nobody really knew at that point in time. Obviously, we're talking last year, but with Bill, he's starting to become a little more open about it and say, like, hey, Max is getting there. And there has been videos that have suggested that, Max has posted social media videos and things of that nature. So he covered Max Johnson along with the quarterback position and saying, like, hey, unfortunately, the guy that has the most experience is Max Johnson. He can't be out there. So all these other guys are either brand new, or also you got Gio, who's stepping up from the group of 5 level to the power 4 level. Now, going back to South Alabama's schedule from last season, they had played LSU, but I think that was the only power 4 level school that they played last year at all was that one. And he did play pretty good, but it's still, you got to see this on a consistent basis. It's not just a one-off deal where you're hyped up because South Alabama's playing LSU. No. It's going to be North Carolina battling teams like Clemson and the rest of the ACC this year, along with the Power 4 schedule that you got rolling out with TCU coming to town night 1. So I thought that was a really good conversation by him. And he just he really broke some things down. He broke the attitude of the program down. Like, hey, these guys, they're coming in. We haven't had any issues. They're showing up. They're excited. They're working hard. They're getting better. And these are things that North Carolina fans have been wanting to hear about. We have been wondering what's been going on with our program. Actually, what's legitimately been going on with our program. Belichick really opened up on this one. And I don't have a ton of quotes. And quite frankly, I want you guys to go listen to that interview. If you haven't, it's really good. It's worth your time. Also, if you haven't yet done it, somebody, I think ACC reposted this on their YouTube channel, I believe it is, the Belichick Dabo Sweeney interview. Go check that thing out. The thing was awesome, man. I loved every single minute of it. It was great. I think it was like an hour and a half. Definitely worth your time. But here's where I want to get to, because Belichick is one thing. He's a coach. He's experienced. We talked about it. Coaches speak. He understands how to deal with media to a degree. We all know how he is about that. Players are another thing. We have saw many player interviews before at North Carolina over the last few years, and player interviews in general, Something yesterday, watching these interviews, it was the player interviews I'm speaking of that got me the most excited. And I'll tell you why. Take Thaddeus Dixon, for example. He was the shining one. All of them did this, but Thaddeus was the shining one. He's brand new here, right? Probably going to be a little uncomfortable, with our guys, or talking about our reporters and sense. Not a bit. That dude was he was into the interview. He was actually a really good interview. But also, when they asked him questions like, what do you think this defense is going to do? While they're asking him the question, a big smile comes up on his face. Huge smile comes up on his face. And he's like, yeah. Now think about it. Thaddeus Dixon's been a part of some pretty cool defenses, right? Last year's defense for Washington was what carried Washington big time. Washington didn't have a great year. They didn't have a great offense at all. But they had a pretty daggum good defense. The year before, guess where they were? National championship game. He was a part of that team. He saw minutes. This guy's been a part of some defenses around here, right? And with that smile, and he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, physicality." They asked him like, "Oh, what's the biggest thing for a Belichick-led defense?" He says, "Physicality." Oh yeah, that's what we do. That is what I want to hear. The excitement, the buy-in from these players. You listen to Christo. It's like, man, this stuff moves fast, but dude, I'm excited to be here. Jordan Shipp, who dropped, I mean, he just dropped a monologue if I ever saw one, where he's like, "Hey, how could I ever leave North Carolina?" He says, "I love this place here. It's a great place to be, and how could I ever leave the greatest coach of all time? You got him coming in. How can I justify leaving him? I can't." And he's all in. And Will Hardy is all in. And you're starting to hear players. I'm even seeing it on Twitter all the time now. You see these players on Twitter like, "Hey, look, that you want to be here." They're going out and they're recruiting unlike any I've ever saw before. We had a couple of guys from the last few years, like a Drake, like an Omarion, like a JJ Jones, that would go up and really, in a Cayman Rucker, that would be consistently on Twitter trying to recruit. But you're seeing it from everybody. You're seeing it from recruits, and you're seeing it from recruits that have already committed for next year, and they're like, "Hey, come with me, come over here, hang out with us." Thaddeus Dixon talking about Andrew Simpson, the linebacker out of Boise. You're like, "Hey, man, dude, like we grew up together, and now that we get to wear the same uniform, oh, this is gonna be legit because he's a really good linebacker. I'm pretty good at where I am. Like we're gonna rock out here." That is the confidence and the excitement that I want to see exuding out of North Carolina, heading into the summer, getting into the fall. We're not too far away, guys. We're not far away at all from that first game against TCU on a Monday night. And I'm nervous. I am nervous, but I am excited. And listening and seeing these interviews again, go check them out. You need to go check them out for yourself. If you haven't, go listen to them. And you guys go listen to them and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Come back and let's have a conversation down there in the chat, in the comments box, wherever you want to call it. And I want to know what you guys get out of it. And maybe it was different from me. But this was unexpected. I didn't know that we were getting any media availability from these guys. Been kind of wanting some because it feels like everything's been closed off. But now that we got some, I'm excited. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, this year for North Carolina football. What's going to be happening in the next few weeks and a couple of months as we get to fall. And man, I'm just super excited. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. If you're brand new, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If, like I said, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this interview. If you've already watched it, go ahead and put it down there. If you haven't, go to the description, find that link to the Bill Belichick interview, listen to it, go listen to all the player interviews, come back to me, let me know what you think as well. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.